Welcome back to the Midnight Scooby Show. I remember when Velma came out earlier this year, I read a lot of comments basically saying, I guess we now owe an apology to Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue because it's not the worst Scooby-Doo show anymore. And I didn't really know what to think about that, simply because I never watched Get a Clue when it first came out. I may have watched the first episode when it was first released, but I honestly don't remember. When What's New Scooby-Doo ended, I just didn't really want to watch Scooby-Doo anymore. You know, I was growing up at that time, and Scooby-Doo was just an afterthought, really, for me. And I didn't really get back into the show until Mystery Incorporated came out, and that show got me super back into Scooby-Doo. For Shaggy and Scooby-Doo Get a Clue, I just simply forgot about it. But I wanted to check it out, to actually see, is it really the worst Scooby-Doo show? You know, before Velma, I guess. And it was really hard to track down if you don't have the Boomerang streaming service, but I did find an episode of it on a pup named Scooby-Doo DVD second to fourth season set, of all things, and it was the episode Party Arty. So I watched it, and let's review it. Honestly, this episode was not that bad. I actually really did enjoy watching it. I did laugh at some of the jokes in this episode, and there were some really good things about it. I think it was actually, when I think about it, it's actually not a bad idea at that time to completely shake up the Scooby-Doo format, because we just got What's New Scooby-Doo by that time, and that was very traditional Scooby-Doo. So it is a nice idea to actually switch up the format. Kind of weird not having the whole Mr. Ink gang. It just focuses on Shaggy and Scooby, which we've had before, and there is no Scrappy-Doo in this. This episode finds Shaggy and Scooby trying to host a housewarming party for all their friends, but of course their neighbor is not quite happy with them because of all the antics that are happening at the mansion. And of course, one of the biggest problems is Roby, their robot butler, who they get a replacement, Art, from the evil Dr. Phineas. This is a pretty decent episode, honestly. It definitely doesn't feel exactly like Scooby-Doo, but for just a simple animated show to watch, it's really not that bad. I really liked the Dr. Phineas villain. It's a really hilarious one, and I really like his little henchman, Agent 2, that was great. And Roby the robot was really a great character. I really like how literally he takes everything. Like, Roby, get the door, and he literally gets the door. I think that's great. And I really just enjoyed how Shaggy and Scooby are so unaware of Art. They don't even question where Art magically comes from when they just need to replace Roby because their neighbor is going to come and kick them out. There's a lot of great, hilarious moments in that. I also really enjoyed the interesting take that they took Scooby Snacks in this episode. By they actually transform Scooby into something completely different, and that helps them stop Art. And I will tell you, the animation is not that bad. I actually don't think the redesign of Shaggy and Scooby look that bad. They look really modern, and I think that's a great approach. And I've seen the images of the other Mystery Gang members. It's a really good take on them, I actually think. And the animation, you know, it definitely has those moments, but it's really impressive. I don't think it's a big jump away from a traditional Scooby-Doo animation. They try to make it their own, and I really like that. I don't like the opening theme song. I just not a fan of that one. And the voice actor they picked to voice Shaggy, I was not a fan. It just feels too different for me, what I expect from Shaggy. And I think it's also because the voice actor voices Robin, so that's also a little bit of a problem. It's just I hear that all the time. What's funny about that, though, is actually Casey Kasem voiced Robin in a Batman animated series, and I was really laughing because that sounded too much Shaggy, and that took me out of it. Funny. But it's actually a really interesting premise, I think, of the show, to have Shaggy and Scooby inherit all this money from Uncle Albert, and they inherit this mansion, and you could just see all the antics they're getting into, and they also have to protect Uncle Albert's secrets, it looks like, from the evil Dr. Phineas. There's a lot of interesting things with the show, and it does make me wonder where it head to in these 2 seasons it had, but I'm not invested enough to want to really continue with it. But what did you guys think of Party Arty and the whole Get a Clue show? Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments below, and I will see you guys in the next video. And stay tuned for an announcement of some of the exciting plans for this summer. Bye, everyone.